So when we talk about dietary approaches to stopping hypertension, we really need to talk about carbohydrates. For most of us, we've heard a lot of bad press about carbohydrate in the past few years. What we forget about is carbohydrate is really fuel for us. We need the B vitamins, the fiber that it provides, and if we're making better choices where we have more whole grain versions, it really can work to our advantage. Here's the trick. What is recommended by the DASH approach is 7 to 8 servings, but what we really don't pay attention to is what size servings we really are having. I'll give you the example of rice. In rice, we should have a half a cup be a serving, but even in a very small rice bowl, we typically are probably having maybe 3 servings when we have it at one time. That's really where we got into trouble with carbohydrate, is we were using more processed versions and we weren't recognizing how many portions that we were having. And so if you pay attention to your bowls and plates at home, do a little bit of measuring initially to get started on the right foot, you can do great. One other trick is, how do we really get the kids to like whole grains? Because we know that there was a lot of rebellion against whole grains in the past. What I find is the blending is really a great tool for us to use. So for instance, if I'm doing pasta, if I do part whole grain, part white, that works typically pretty good because they all mix together, especially if you have sauce on it. Or if I can use part brown rice, part white rice. I also am a big fan of the whole grain white flour. I use it in recipes and that works really well. And there are lots of great whole grain opportunities both in the cereal section and even with the bread with the whole grain white bread, because it does give you an opportunity to be able to have whole grain white without it feeling like they're having to go all the way to whole wheat. One of my favorite tricks is to use popcorn. Now there are some stipulations with popcorn, which I'll talk about in another show. One thing that you really can keep in mind is popcorn can be a great place to get a snack that's a whole grain if you keep it in proportion and make the best versions of it. When we think about carbohydrates, keep working to get more whole grain versions, and by making those choices every day and recognizing our portion sizes, we can have a lot of great success in the whole grain category in dietary approaches to stop hypertension.